Welcome everybody to episode 3 of 100 Proof Geek, a weekly show dedicated to everything Destiny. I'm just kidding. We're not going to talk about Destiny today. We've been doing that for the last 2 shows. It is a weekly show, however, where a couple of friends come together, have some drinks, maybe not have some drinks, and we talk about everything geeky. To my left, we have Victor Miranda, our resident police disliker.
Not true.
Not anymore. To his left, we have Jose Jimenez, our resident daddy.
Also known as Nipples O'Houlihan.
Sure, why not? And then to his left, right, we're still doing lefts, all right, keep going left, is David Pantoja, our bearded wonder.
Aha.
That's a good one. I like that.
I'm wonderful.
I don't know about wonderful. So, this week, I think we're going to avoid Destiny like the plague. So, we've heard some comments from some of our listeners that, you know, we're a little Destiny crazy, as I continue to talk about Destiny. We are going to start, however, with Nintendo and the Nintendo Amiibos, I believe is how they said. If you have no idea, it's very similar to Skylanders or the Disney Infinity figures. So, these figures are specific to Nintendo. They're utilized with the Wii U system, and they are NFC products which can import characters into different games and into different things where you can get you have your standard characters, and you can also have these amiibo characters as well. So the real big thing, however, is that apparently Nintendo has been at it again and has been causing artificial inflation, artificial demand, for their characters. They used to do this way back in the day with their games. They would put out X copies of the game and then make it hard to get other copies of the game, and so they're doing the same thing where the amiibos, such as the who do we have that's hard to get? It is Animal Crossing character.
Wii Fitness Coach.
The Wii Fitness Coach, and there was a third. What was the third? You guys remember? No, not Donkey Kong. But there was a third character. Either way, these 3 characters apparently have gone and become impossible to find.
Absolutely. They become eBay wonders.
So people on eBay are making money like nobody's business, hands over fist, with these 3 characters. Pretty much a character that was normally costing $13 for somebody to buy is being sold on eBay from anywhere $80 up. It's actually it's insane. I can't even speak. That's how crazy it is.
It's not even like one of the famous characters like Mario or Luigi.
Yeah, it's like that third one is gonna kill me. But the third one is one that's mildly interesting, I suppose. But so
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing is fairly popular.
I don't know what the other one was.
But so now we have fans of these amiibos out there who wish that Nintendo would have said these characters are going to be limited release. Because, had they said limited release and people would have had these expectations going into this that, well, I don't have to get it today, I can get the Wii Fit character tomorrow and it'll be good.
Well, is it some of the drama that Nintendo actually botched up their kind of social media where they said that, oh yeah, we are going to have limited, and then no, we're not, but now it's, and then we don't have it because we don't have
enough
shelf space.
Right.
So they keep on going back and forth.
So they keep going back and forth between, yes, it's limited, but no, it's not limited, but it is limited because we don't have shelf space. But, I mean, we haven't exactly gotten a direct answer from Nintendo.
So it seems like the original message was very vague and unclear. And then in between times, between when it originally launched and now where there's extreme scarcity, they're saying that these characters aren't necessarily completely removed from the shelves, but they may be coming back at a later time. So it's still more, vagueness in this regards of, are we ever going to see these characters again? Or they, promise to come back again later? Or are they going to be reissued?
You know what? Let me ask you something, though. Is it so unbelievable that something, it's literally a collectible toy, right? I mean, that's how it is. It's
right, yeah.
Skylanders, Infinity, Amiibos, they're collectible toys. You collect them, you can play with them in your video game, but they're collectible toys. Is it so unbelievable that anything collectible wouldn't at some point have become limited? I mean, so what? I can't really understand what the frustration is behind these 4 going limited.
Well,
because they're eventually going to be limited. They're going to come out with new ones.
The thing is that I guess with things like Skylanders or Infinity, people kind of know going into it that this is what you're going to get. These are what we have available. And then Skylanders is very good at doing series. There is the Sky Giants series, and there's the Trap Force series, which is like the new one, where it becomes more and more difficult to get the characters from the first series from then to now. So I think there's been 4 series of Skylanders. They're on Disney Infinity 2.0. So it becomes increasingly more difficult to get these original characters. I don't think anybody ever said anything about, them not going to be available ever again. I think it's just kind of understood. And so I think the problem is that it's only been a couple weeks to a month.
I think some of the awkwardness maybe is because with the Skylanders, for example, they do the same characters over and over again.
Right.
Like when they do a new series, it's not always new characters. They add a few new characters, but they redo old characters and they give them a new look or a new style. Right. And they'll say like, this is fire, ice, blah blah blah.
Right.
And are we going to see that with Amiibos? Are they going to do like,
so.
This is Raccoon Tail Mario and this is Fireball Mario? But I think part of the problem is that Nintendo isn't communicating that. They're not exactly telling people like, this is where we expect to go with this.
Right.
So people are thinking, and I'm just guessing here, this is not going to be my only chance to get this because they're not going to release it again.
Yeah, but probably Nintendo didn't expect the popularity of this item to take off the way it did.
I mean, I don't know if I can agree with that.
Yeah,
you got Skylanders and Disney doing crazy
but then
things.
at the same token, they might have or might have not expected the demand, but at the same token, be clear about what was going on. Say, listen, we underestimated the demand for such product, and we're having, production constraints or whatever the case may be. But be clear. Don't tell me, as a consumer, we not sure when we're gonna have it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We don't have shelf space. Like you're bouncing around the subject. Just give me a clear answer whether we don't have enough to supply the demand for the product, or we just didn't make enough.
Here's the thing about
or they're limited, and tell me they're limited. So now when I know to go get them, all right, I got a couple days or until this sells out to get to certain kind.
Here's the thing about the shelf space excuse. Doesn't that sound like a pretty weak excuse in like today's day and time? I mean, back in the day where we could only go and buy things at a brick and mortar store, if you said we didn't have the shelf space, you'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But where we can go online and buy things at Nintendo.com, why not just have more of what we want on your website where we can go and buy it? Or at Nintendo World, where like if you're in New York City, they have a whole store dedicated to Nintendo, but you can't even find them there. You can't find them on their website or a place, the digital marketplace.
I think this goes back to what I was saying, towards the beginning of the show, though, is that Nintendo has been very popular, very, very, very good at causing artificial demand. They did it with the Wii. They said that there are no Wiis available, but, by after holiday season, there were Wiis everywhere. Like, they were falling out of people's pockets. That's how many Wiis there were. So, I mean, they do this thing where they make this great product that people really want, right? If not just for the sake of nostalgia, because I'm not gonna lie, there's been several times I'm standing at the store, holding my wallet in my hand, and just thinking, like, do I do this or do I not do this? Thankfully, I have a fiance at home who would probably knock me upside my head if I came home with a bunch of little toys for a system. I can't even play them on because I don't even own it. But, I think that they've done a great job at causing artificial demand. I think you will see another iteration of whatever these characters are. And in addition to that, who wants the Wii Fit guy? Like, girl, chick, whatever she is. Who wants that? Like, I don't want that. Like, when I saw that, I was like, really? That's a toy? Like, you could make, like, the black Link, the green Link, the blue Link, the red Link. You gotta make the Wii Fit character? Like, come on. Like, I don't need that. Take that away.
But at the same time, when you say that it's limited or you make it scarce, everything becomes popular.
There you go.
It's all about the demand.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what Nintendo is popular for, like, well known for doing.
They can make an amiibo called Purple Dog Doodle. And if they make 2 of them and put it on one shelf in one store, I'm sure there's people that's going to go and pick it up.
By the way, a quick little shout out to Cards Against Humanity for selling people bullshit. Bullshit. We didn't, right? We just stay clear of the vulgar language here. But people literally paid $6 for a box filled with bullshit. Take out the P part. You got the what does it be? Like, and they warned people when they were buying it from their website that this is not a joke. This is literally going to be bullshit. And if you buy it, then that's fine. You like bullshit. And plenty of people bought it. There's plenty of unboxing videos on YouTube. We'll definitely throw in some links into the description, the Twitter page, our Google Plus, our Facebook community. We'll have some of that stuff for you all to check out later at the end of the show and whatnot. But so back to the topic at hand. The Nintendo Amiibos, I think Nintendo's good at what they do.
I think Nintendo did it on purpose. Because look at the characters that are missing. There's characters no one cares about.
But that's what they said. They said the popular characters are almost always going to be available because at the end of the day, who doesn't like? If I walk to the store and I want to reach for my Luigi and Luigi's not there because he's the better of the two brothers, by the way.
Oh, for the love of Christ.
Absolutely.
Hey, he falls slower. He jumps higher. All right, he's taller.
He's quicker.
He's sure.
Mario gets the princess.
Luigi don't need no
End
princess.
of conversation.
Who always get kidnapped? She's nothing but trouble. What do you want to do?
Mario obviously eats better because he's heavier. So
There
he
you
makes
go.
more money.
There you go.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, that's not fair. Why is Mario's name on the business?
Mario.
Like we're the Super Mario brothers. Like I don't like that. That's not cool. Can we get like the Mario Luigi brother like business? Like why does Mario get the front?
Because that's the
name?
last name. They're Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Oh, they are Mario. Yes, I apologize. I listen. I apologize
It's
to anybody out there who's a severe gamer for not remembering that Mario and Luigi Mario. You gotta love the Japanese.
I think the parents are the bigger issue.
So right, so let's delve into that a little bit. Who's really upset that these toys are not available? The parents who are struggling to get these toys for holiday season, or the kids who don't even know that they're getting it because they can't afford it anyway.
Not even the guys who are selling all of them for hand over fist on eBay. They're the ones who are angry. Why can't we have more to sell to people for $80?
So
I would
I'm
say a
definitely
little
mad that I can't get one. I sell it on eBay.
more the parents for the kids, like, middle-aged kids. I want this specific toy, this specific character, this specific amiibo.
Yeah, but who's asking? But what kid? I want to meet this kid who's like, I want the fitness coach from We Fit. You know?
yeah,
It's definitely more about, like I said earlier, the demand. It's not necessarily that they need to play with that character or they want to play with that character. Right. They want to be able to go to school and go to wherever.
I just imagine
say that they have it.
I just imagine some bratty kid who's like, but I want all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I've known parents to go out of their way, like way out of their way, to get specific toys for their kids. I mean, it is what it is.
I can't knock Nintendo from creating the demand because you know what? There's a lot of companies. I'm not going to mention names.
What mention names?
Oh,
Apple.
That creates demand.
Okay. So, by the way, we didn't get any tweets or messages or emails from anybody out there in regards to Victor's request to what was Apple's last greatest invention. Don't waste your time. shoot him a private, send him a DM on Twitter. Rican183 RICAN183 at Twitter. Bother his inbox with that.
Nobody knows. Nobody's gonna send me nothing because nobody knows. They ain't done nothing.
So, so here's my question though. I like what these amiibos do. Now I've played Skylanders.
Well, one thing was supposed to work like on the Wii U. And
right. So that's my whole thing.
So
So I like what Skylanders does. Skylanders is its own game. You can now use the portals with whatever system, and you can use it with your tablets. Right. All this fun, cool stuff. And then then Disney started doing their thing, and then the kind of same concept. You use the playmat, and you put your Disney characters in there.
Nintendo different? So
what Nintendo has done though is that now not only is there specific stuff that you can do with these characters in game, but then you can also throw a little. Well, I don't have Donkey Kong or Marth, which is the third characters, guys. Marth from Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that's the one cool one.
That's the one that's kind of cool. Yeah,
that's the one.
But I don't have Marth in Donkey Kong Country or whatever crazy game you're playing, like Mario Kart or something, right? You can put your amiibo on the pad, and it will import that character into the game, which is great. I like that. They're incorporating their characters because Nintendo's very much about the nostalgia. Nintendo's very much about like, hey guys, you remember Ice Climbers? Good, because they're not in this most recent version of Smash Brothers. But they do like to
that's great. So
have people available to remember their childhood and stuff. And I think that it's cool what the amiibos technically do.
So then I can import all my amiibos into like the 3 games I would buy for the Wii U and never play.
Exactly. So
I definitely think it's a cool concept that you could if you were like, oh, what happens if this character fights this character or whatever, who would win?
Right. Yeah. See, exactly. That's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in. So
you're a nerd.
So
yes, I'm a gamer. Sorry.
so Nipples, as a father with a son, I mean, even though he's only just turned 1, congratulations, just turned 1. But as a father with a young son, where this is a world of possibilities going by the time he gets old enough to play video games.
Oh,
are you looking forward to this?
No, not at all.
I mean, maybe you should get started now, so that way you like, Daddy got 1 toy, 2 toys. Just give him your old stuff.
I'm definitely not looking forward to it because Nintendo's definitely going to stick me for the early years.
Oh yeah.
Those early years of childhood, Nintendo is definitely the way to go. Most kids gravitate to Nintendo. So definitely not looking for the fake supply and demand that Nintendo has to offer.
Gotcha. So, what do we think about these characters being used in game and then switching around as a whole? Again, I mean, personally, I'm kind of cool on it. Like, I'm kind of fancy on it. I like the way the overall concept is, and having these little toys all over my house. I'm pretty cool. I like that.
I like the idea, but I just don't think they do enough. Like,
Right.
I bought a Wii, and I maybe played 5 games on the Wii in its entire lifespan.
Gotcha.
And then it sat there and collected dust. And I can't imagine buying a Wii U and buying like 3 games and having amiibos.
Right.
And Nintendo needs to have more to go with this than just...
Jose, what do you think about it?
For me, anyway.
I don't like it. Don't really care for it. I'm not a big Nintendo guy. It was from my childhood. I like those memories where they stay. I don't want them. I don't want them to be all pretty and dressed up.
Gotcha.
I'm good where they're at.
You like your old black and gray and greenish Mario on the Game
I like the
Boy.
colors that don't mix.
Sounds good.
The undefinitive lines.
There you go. Victor, what do you think?
Well, I like the concept, but it's not for me.
Right.
If I was in middle school or elementary school, then I'll probably like it more, but it's cool for the kids.
So if you were the age you act, then that would be right up your alley.
Definitely. Definitely. But, it's definitely nothing that I would personally go out and buy and go on my way.
Cool. I get you.
I'm a gamer. I don't have a preference in system. I like them all. I'm not a fanboy to any specific system. But
Okay. Yeah, we're going to jump ahead and we're going to see. Oh, yeah, big time. Big time PS4, Sony fanboy all day, every day. But we're going to skip to the next topic, which I think is something a little bit more appealing for everybody out there, whether you like the recent influx of comic book movies or not. There's been, from the leaked content, and I know Sony's asked that people no longer, reveal these leaked contents online, and we don't have any leaked content to reveal. We're just going to talk about what's already out there. Which is the Spider-Man Sony conversation between Fox and Sony, right? No, Marvel
Disney,
and
Marvel and
there you
Sony.
go. Yeah. So Marvel and Fox, they're having these discussions on can they get
it's Sony.
Marvel, Sony, and Disney.
How's
Disney
it Fox?
owns Marvel.
Fox
Sony's the one that
has
lost.
the rights to.
I thought it was
Spider-Man.
Sony who has the.
No, Sony got the rights to
Sony.
Sony.
Well, that's why I'm not in charge of the show. So long story short, there are people who are talking about getting Spider-Man from his current status into the next Captain America movie, which has been revealed to be Captain America: Civil War, which is I think the diehard fans are really excited about, and I think that people who aren't diehard fans are going to be really just blown away by. And so apparently the talks haven't gone terribly well. First of which is that negotiations ended and they weren't able to come up with any arrangements for Spider-Man to be in the next Marvel movie.
I'm just thinking whoever works at Marvel and decided, yeah, we'll sell Sony the rights to make Spider-Man movies for this many years is kicking themselves in the behind right now.
I don't think they ever anticipated for it to be as big as it is. To be honest, the first X-Men movie was okay. The second one was pretty good. And then it got really off the rails. And I don't think that they ever had any expectations because of the way those movies went. I don't think Marvel was like, oh yeah, we're going to kill it out here. And then Iron Man came out, and Iron Man was like...
Spider-Man and X-Men come out close?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Because the first X-Men movies weren't that great. No, and then the Spider-Man movie came out.
They were better than what we had ever seen.
But it still wasn't Marvel, Marvel specific. So I think that, they were kind of like, well, do we go full steam ahead with this and support this 100%? Is this, something that is going to be a big hit? Again, the Iron Man movie, I don't think had high expectations to be very successful. Even though I think it's probably the first one's the best of the three, I think. Show me if I'm wrong, but I think the first is the best of the three. And so with Civil War, just so for those who aren't 100% sure, spoilers, by the way, before we get going, I'm going to give you guys a good 1, 2, 3. Anyway, so if you're still listening, you're going to hear some spoilers for the Civil War storyline going forward, just so you have a heads up. Pretty much the whole premise is that a couple of heroes end up causing a catastrophe which killed several little kids, blew up a neighborhood where, families, etc., were just devastated. Because of this instance, S.H.I.E.L.D. try to enact a registration policy where all superpowered entities would have to register through S.H.I.E.L.D. Whether it be the classification of a villain or a hero, you still had to register with S.H.I.E.L.D. In which case, then you would become a S.H.I.E.L.D. operative,
or be put in jail,
for not signing this bill. So on one hand, we had Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man. On the other hand, we had Steve Rogers, again also known as Captain America. And in the middle, we had characters, most particularly Spider-Man, who wasn't sure whether they should register or not register. Spider-Man most conflicted because he's known to hide his identity to save his family, but he's also one of the more morally obligated characters out there. With great power comes great responsibility, and so he's very morally driven as a hero in general, which is why he felt he should register. And long story short, he registers under the influence and tutelage of Iron Man, to which he gets a whole new really awesome suit, which we can talk about another day. But by the end of the show, the Civil War, Spider-Man realized that the signing up was not necessarily a great idea, and I think even Mary Jane was hurt.
I think his whole family gets attacked. Like,
right? Yeah.
Aunt May and Mary Jane get attacked.
So because everything's available on the registry, right? So the whole thing is with Spider-Man kind of being the moral line: do you cross left or right, good or bad, register, don't register?
Iron Man or Captain America.
Yeah,
he's a pretty important character.
He definitely is a big part of the Civil War series. And so, what are we thinking about this? Do we need Spider-Man, or Iron Spider as he comes to be known as?
I think that he definitely should be in the movie, part of the movie. I think they should try to make it happen. However they can make it happen, either with the existing character or new character, whoever they want to pick to play him.
So good thing you brought that up, not to cut you short, but so some of the stuff that has come out from the whole Sony talks is that if there is a Spider-Man in the next Civil War movie, or the first Civil War movie, I guess, it will not be Andrew Garfield. It will not be Tobey Maguire. It will be a Spider-Man of Marvel's choosing, Disney's choosing, and it'll be probably a whole new character, a whole new design, etc. But yeah, so...
Yeah, so I think whatever they need to do to get it together, make this happen for the fans, the true fans, the ones that want to see it follow along with the comics, they need to make it happen. I don't care how much money they got to spend. How much money they spend on acquiring Star Wars, George Lucas films. So you're telling me they can acquire this?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, but that's a series of movies and content that goes along with it. It's not like 1 or 2 movies or 3 movies.
True.
I mean, the most they're going to get out of Civil War is what, a trilogy?
I don't think it's going to be all that.
But
I think it'll be over by the third.
Overall, do the Spider-Man
trilogy.
No, I mean, I think it'll be over by the third Avengers movie. Like, completely sitting there. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? It could be more than a trilogy.
You got to remember, they're not paying for the story. They're paying for one character to be.
No, but if you buy back the Spider-Man rights, I think buy it back with everything.
I don't think they're going to be able to buy it back. I think it's definitely going to be... There's going to be extreme penalties to royalties. I think that's going to be a huge deal on that. Because I can definitely foresee this movie... Once they get... Especially if they get Spider-Man in it.
Yeah.
I can see this movie being...
Here's the thing I'm thinking. How are they going to do a Spider-Man movie after he's in this movie?
Well, see, that's the best part about the Marvel Universe and comics in general. Go ahead, I'll let you.
I just think financially it doesn't make any sense to buy him back completely. More of a lease type situation would make a little bit more sense, especially if they're going to go the route where he has to be somebody completely different, an unknown actor that we have no connection to at this point.
Right.
Because he can just go back to being whoever he is.
Right.
Or if and when they make another movie based off a comic later in the future, if they want to throw that Spider-Man back in there in that same universe, fine. We already attached to him in that universe. We already have Tobey Maguire. We already have, Andrew Garfield. So, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much the same storyline, but it's the same character, and it's 2 different actors.
See, the best part...
if we can do that, it's 2 separate universes. We can kind of figure it out.
So the best part about what I was going to say before, though, is that Sony has already set it up for me not to care. They're already doing the Amazing Spider-Man series. So there was Spider-Man, now there's the Amazing Spider-Man. There can be a Spectacular Spider-Man, there can be Awesome Spider-Man. You know, I mean, you do all these different Spider-Man series as they are in the comics. And they're always somebody, I mean, it's always Peter Parker, but there's always a different type of Peter Parker, different attitude, different this, different that. I think we have some definite wiggle room, to make this, worth it.
Well, doesn't the contract that they have with Sony anyway have a time limit? I mean,
Yes.
they don't get to keep Spider-Man forever. So
I forgot all the details of it, but I think they have X amount of time to make movies, and then if they don't make a movie within that time frame,
then they forfeit.
Their rights to the Spider-Man thing. Here's my question. Here's like the big plot twist question. I'm gonna get you with some craziness right now. Miles Morales was known to be Spider-Man for a short time. He is the Black and Puerto Rican Spider-Man. After
look at Jose's face. He doesn't know there's a Puerto Rican Spider-Man.
What if they said
That's the big question.
he's Puerto Rican? Come on. What if they said, sure, why not go crazy, but you gotta use Miles Morales? So that's the only Spider-Man we're giving you. Okay, so just because you don't know that there is a Black and Puerto Rican Spider-Man, you've never seen this character before, you have no idea who he is, how would you feel about Spider-Man shows up, he agrees with Iron Man, pulls off his mask, and he's a little black kid? He's a teenager as well, by the way.
Can we call him Juan Pablo Parker?
No,
Juan Pablo Parker.
I don't think the Parkers made it down south. I think they ended up in Russia, but what would you think?
I mean, I wouldn't care, because to my point earlier, give me somebody new. If you're going to go that route, just throw somebody else in there. I'm really not stuck on the race issue. He doesn't have to be white. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
No, I should advise him to stay away from New York. Probably get choked by a cop.
You know what? Leave the victim. I think throwing a new face in there is just kind of it throws you off,
Right.
And not for people like us who love the comics, who love superhero movies and stuff like that, but for people who only follow the movies,
right.
And people don't know, Sony's got the rights to this and Marvel's got the rights to that, and they can't mix the movies. So when they finally do this and they say, "Oh, Spider-Man's in it," and then there's a black kid, they're gonna be like, "Wait a minute."
Well, I don't know if that really matters, because in the next Avenger movie you're gonna see the Flash. Nope, wrong, way off. Quicksilver.
Okay.
And in the most recent X-Men movie, which is also owned by different entities, owned by Fox. Excuse me, that's why I got all crossed up.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's a different Silver Surfer. Quicksilver. Why am I
again, minor character. Quicksilver doesn't have a Quicksilver movie.
Quicksilver's gonna be really big in the next Avenger movie.
In the next Avenger movie, but he wasn't really big in the last.
He was really big in the last X-Men movie. Yeah,
Not
he was.
really. He was
Because when they go to break down Magneto and he stops time, he just listens to his.
But what I'm saying is,
it was an artist.
He didn't have.
It was a great song.
He didn't have 4 movies with his name in the title. Spider-Man has 4 movies with his name in the title.
All right, so go back to your point though. You
5
said
movies.
Andrew Garfield's not going to be in the movie. They already said we don't want Andrew Garfield. So
which I think is stupid. If I was Sony, I'd be like, yeah, use our actors so that when the movie's over, we can make a Spider-Man movie that'll follow or come out of that and kind of blow up, get some of your steam, some of your thunder.
I don't think they want that.
What do you mean?
Why would you want another company to bank off what you did?
But that's what I'm saying.
I think Sony's going to really bankroll on this one.
But that's what I'm saying. If I was Sony and you're coming to me and asking me if you can use your character in our movie, I'd say yeah, sure. And then I'd steal some of that lightning to do another Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
But I mean that's Sony though. Marvel don't want, use my part of my language, they don't want what they got. They want their own Spider-Man. They don't want Andrew Garfield.
Well, tough cookies.
So
I think they got to work with what they got to work with.
So yeah, I think I'm with Victor. I want Spider-Man in the movie. I don't care how you got to get him, but don't do anything crazy where it's not like Spider-Man. It's more like Speeder-Man. I don't want Speeder-Man. I want Spider-Man. Victor, you want a Spider-Man. You don't care how you got to get it.
I don't care what he is, black, Puerto Rican, Asian. I don't
It's
care.
gonna be Spider-Man.
Whoa. There's Asian Spider-Man?
I don't care.
I think we're crossing two.
There is Spider-Pig. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
There's Spider-Pig.
Spider-Pig is a real thing.
Bacon is delicious also. That's fine.
So Jose, you don't want to.
I'll take any.
You don't want any old Spider-Man though.
Any old Spider-Man, but he could be black and Puerto Rican or white. That's probably, I mean,
I think you just trying to be politically correct right now.
I'll take it. It's cool. It's just, it just comes down to the point, he needs to be in the movie at this point, just for it to make more sense, and not to seem like they're trying to fill the gap
Right.
that he hit from him missing. So just whatever you need to do, get him. Even if you gotta get Spider-Pig. Call him up. Call him.
Dave, what do you think?
I guess in some ways I'm curious. Like I like to see things the way I imagine them in my head, or not so much imagine because when you read comics, it's pretty much blatantly there. But like I like seeing that and having to translate to the movie. So I'm on one part I'm kind of like I want the right Spider-Man.
Right.
Don't give me some fake imitation Spider-Man. But on the other hand, I'm with Victor. Like I don't care. Just give me the movie.
Right.
Like give me what you got to give me. As long as he's not a terrible actor, he fits the part. As long as it's not like the first Superman in the most recent Superman movies, like just give it to us,
right?
You know. But if he's a terrible actor like Topher Grace as Venom, forget it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, so just before we get off topic, real quick, as the true comic fans, David and myself, who do you think they have as a backup plan? Like it doesn't look good that they are getting Spider-Man.
I have no clue.
I heard something that they were going to just scratch Spider-Man completely out. That's a big possibility.
I mean, like but like like I said though, Spider-Man is a big he's the moral guideline for the movie. I think he's good on one end, and then he changes his mind. Like I got to be on this side. So I don't know if you can really do it without a character fitting that profile.
He has the main internal struggle,
right,
with basically good and evil or right and wrong, whatever you want to call it. So how do you take that character who kind of sets the mood for the whole series? and the movie's ruined.
Fourth wall gone. All right, so yeah, I think overall, I think we're excited just the fact that they are doing a Civil War movie.
Yeah.
I had always said I would love to see them do a Civil War movie. So I'm really just anticipating some great things happening from Marvel and Sony and whoever does movies in this movie space. Continuing, I guess, with the theme of movies and popular culture is. I'm absolutely just sick and tired of zombies. I'm sorry. There's no nice way to transition into this. Walking Dead needs to go away. The TV show is done. I mean, it's done in my world, in my life, in my mind. The comics, I don't mind the comics. I'll pick up a comic every once in a while and continue to read the comics. But I'm just done with zombies, man. Zombie games, zombie movies, zombie. I'm done. I can't deal with it anymore.
I have to definitely agree with you on that one. I'm done. I used to be a big fan of The Walking Dead, watch it religiously.
Oh, yes.
I'm done. It just doesn't make sense anymore. They're just doing too much. It's oversaturated. What's that last one? World War Z? No sense.
You know, the problem with World War Z is
sense.
The people who read books, not me. World War Z was nothing like the movie.
The book is nothing like the movie.
Not even close.
Like I read the book.
It's like they just paid for the name. Yeah, I know you don't read books.
I definitely don't read books.
I think I'm the only one at the table. I think I'm the only one at the table who actually read the book. The book was amazing. I mean,
you're probably the only one who can read. I can't do it.
It was amazing, but the movie was so bad, and the fact that they got Brad Pitt to be the main guy in the movie, it was just all about getting the name World War Z on there. It had nothing to do.
I think so. But even like the game space right now, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Excuse me. Some of the stuff that they're doing is cool. Like Dying Light, where zombies become superpowered at night and they attack you, and it's like it's like parkour but with zombies. I mean, they're doing cool things, but I don't want to play any more of that. I don't want any
more. The
Last
of Us was an amazing game.
It was garbage.
Sorry.
So not only do we make enemies by saying that we don't need any more zombies and Walking Dead sucks is over, but now we also made enemies by David just throwing up all over the Last of Us. Fantastic.
I hate that game.
I disagree with you on the Walking Dead part. I still watch The Walking Dead. I'll have to agree that it does lag because of all the build-up and all the anticipation. But for the most part, it's been well worth it.
I completely disagree. You talk about well worth it, the comics were well worth it. And to not have to ruin the rest of the show, I'm not going to do another spoilers. We're going to continue talking about Walking Dead without referring to the comics. But, the show sucks.
Yeah, but you get emotionally tied to a character, then they get killed off. I don't want to spoil it to some people who haven't watched the last episode yet.
You know the best part is Game of Thrones is the same thing. Yes. I don't care. Like bring more Game of Thrones.
Oh, I can't wait for Game of Thrones to come back.
Give me more of that.
No, I think the build up to tension in Walking Dead is really what's killing the show. Because you have too many episodes. It's build up. It's build up. It's build up.
Three to 4 episodes build up. Yeah. And it's like one good episode, then you gotta wait another.
And then that one good episode is the mid-season finale.
Exactly. But that was my same problem with the game you just mentioned.
Dying Light.
Not Dying Light. The Last of Us. It's like you're expecting one thing. You're expecting like a whole story about surviving a zombie apocalypse, but that's not the story.
But see, you're missing the Sandy. They've already survived the zombie apocalypse. They're dealing with it.
That's the most boring part of the story to have to listen
anyway,
to.
Next part of the
That's
topic.
why we don't like Walking Dead.
Anyway,
because
You
like,
don't like Walking Dead.
everything that happens after the zombie apocalypse happens, and just trying to get through and everyday day-to-day stuff. That's the most boring stuff. I do everyday day-to-day stuff. I don't want to see other people
But now
doing
with
it.
zombies.
that's true.
But
That's
like,
true.
It's not on the same level.
But yeah, it is, because it's like, we're going to do laundry, but with zombies.
Hey, John.
It's still laundry.
That might be quite interesting, though. Have you ever tried to do laundry with a zombie?
Oh, so just a quick side note. I lived in Long Island for a year, and I worked for a school, and when the school was off, college, I would still be on campus by myself. Doing laundry when there's nobody around, scariest stuff in the world. Scary. There was like little bushes outside. We go, there's zombies. So, like I would get nerdy. I would, again, true story. I would run from the laundry room to the elevator, get in the elevator, even though I knew it was a bad idea if there was zombies. Get off my floor and then go back into my room and wait until the next morning to get my laundry.
Really, bro?
Oh, zombies is a real thing. Like I don't want to find out.
That's true.
I got a wonderful mind. It wanders. Okay. I'm not interested in finding out what's real, what's not real. But you know what? To go back with the zombie thing is, I'm tired of not knowing. I need somebody to give me a freaking explanation why there are zombies. And don't say, oh well, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Like that was great for like 5 minutes. I was like, okay, no, but for real, why are there zombies?
But that's just it. That's what I'm saying. These stories, they never address why the zombies are there or like what happened. They kind of allude to it, but then we're gonna go back to doing laundry with zombies, and it's like, I don't care.
You know what zombies need?
I don't want to see everyday stuff. I don't want to see like
They need a spokesperson.
They need a zombie Dracula. You know what I mean? Like with vampires, people was like, oh, vampires, no sorrow to he's gonna suck your blood, right? But nobody knows. But nobody knows why there is. You know, like, they didn't know where vampires came from, and that's always like the best part. Oh, I like that twist. Like, what was like my favorite? Like Dracula 2000, where the first vampire. Spoilers from this old movie, by the way.
Spoilers.
Dracula 2000, the first vampire was Judas. Crazy, blew my mind. And the vampires didn't like silver because he betrayed Jesus for silver, man. Come on. Okay.
The least religious person at the table.
Okay. You look most engaged in my part of the story.
I was listening.
Anywho, though, I think that's what zombies need. I think zombies need a point of origin. I think it needs to be more than just because, you know, even The Walking Dead tried to address this, and they're like, we're not gonna do that.
That's just it. Like, zombies can have any multitude point of origin. Like,
So do vampires, though.
but they never. But every time you watch a zombie movie, they never nail one down.
Yeah.
They never say, okay, for this movie, this is what's going on. This is where they came from, and this is what happened. I would love to watch a movie about the whole origination of zombies. Like, yo, we created this plague, and it got out, and it killed all these people, and then this is what started happening.
You see how similar that is? Give me that.
That's the movie I want to watch.
But wasn't that something similar to what they did with Legend? With the
I Legend? I guess.
Yeah, but they ruined
it. Was like,
But they ruined
I
it.
guess.
Yes, but I don't want Brad Pitt in it, and I want real story, and they ruined it.
Like, you know what? At the same time, that happens with a lot of like fictional, made-up characters. Now, they did the same thing with vampires. Vampires, for the most part, is generic, but there have been movies and TV shows that put their own twist on it. For example, the originals, the mother's a witch and makes her children vampires. Like, where did she come up with the idea for vampires? How it happened is just like, oh, you know what?
You see?
You eat all your dinner, you left the broccoli on the table.
Now you gotta drink plus out your life. Oh, now you a zombie. That's why parents say you eat your broccoli so you don't become a zombie.
Exactly.
It all makes sense. You see, that's all I need. I need a little sense out of this. I need a little bit.
I also think we're just oversaturated. Just like a few years ago where there was like vampires everywhere and, you know, Twilight, and then they came out like all the cheesy vampire movies. I think we're getting done with zombies.
Imagine a world where vampires like everywhere. Like, come on, man, stop trying to suck my blood. I'm like, I don't go that way. Get out here. I'm just saying. I personally need a little bit more to it than what we're given as far as zombies go. Like I said, Walking Dead tried at one point in the most recent season to do some kind of
Well, they
story in
haven't
that
even
regard.
the
And they
guys-
just like, no.
They had in the first, what was it, the first season, the guy with the CDC, and he whispers into what's his name's here.
But they didn't tell me.
But that's just it. Like, they never. That's what upsets me about The Walking Dead. They go on to this whole story about, like, he finds out his best friend is screwing with his wife, and he kills him, and then his wife gives birth and she dies, and blah blah blah. But they never go back to but why are there zombies?
And then they do something really cool that everybody's a zombie. Like everybody could be infected. Great. Oh, spoiler on Walking Dead. Jesus. But everybody could be a zombie or whatever. Like that's awesome and all. But I still don't know why there was one.
Like, why the first one happened? I mean, for the most part, they allude to some, like, drastic experiment gone wrong.
Oh, wait.
Something leaks out. But commit to it and stay with it.
Well, let me tell my brother what he tells me every time I say I don't like, what's that game again? The Last of Us. But that's not the point! The point is about them surviving after that happened.
But in the Last of Us, I know what happened. Spores. Explanation.
But it didn't go deep enough. It was just like, oh yeah, by the way, fungus. Now go survive.
Wasn't Nicolas Cage in the movie where it was just like the knowing or something, or the happening, where it was just like the trees came back to life and they got all pissed off at everybody and killed people?
No, that was your fiance's boyfriend, Marky Mark.
Oh yeah, that was Marky Mark. Anywho, how that's been another episode of 100 Proof Geek. We appreciate your time, and we hope that the longer time frame this week is gonna situate you.
Make up for.
There you go. That's a better phrase. For last week's a little bit shortened episode. We look forward to continue to provide you 40 to 45, maybe an hour, minute episodes. That way you can get to and from work, with just enough 100 Proof Geek in your ear. So please follow us on Twitter. We are 100 Proof Geek at Twitter. You can find us on our Facebook community, 100 Proof Geek, if you just search it into Facebook. And you can also email us at 100proofgeek@gmail.com. Again, we have Rican183 at Twitter.
Yes. You can also find me on Instagram, same name, Rican183.
Man of many words. We're also joined again this week with Jose Jimenez.
Also known as Nipples of Houlihan.
And he is most hated _Hove, MOSTHATED_HOV, like the HOV lane.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely expressed. And you can add me on PSN for that game that we won't talk about this week.
Oh, we're not talking about it this week. And then we also have David Pentola, and you can find him on
Pixel Dave. Is it Pixel_Dave? And Instagram. And
it's your Twitter, man.
On Twitter.
Oh, okay. So that's Pixel PIXEL _Dave DAVE1 or Pixel Dave _1. Right?
No. What?
Mine is _1.
You'll find me.
Find us. We're out there. And then we are 100 Proof Geek, again, at Twitter. Send us your message, your thoughts, your likes, your dislikes, conversation pieces that you'd like to hear going forward.